Have you ever looked at your life and wondered quietly if this is really it? Not in a dramatic way, but in those quiet moments. At 3:42 in the morning, in the shower, on the way to work. When you're scrolling and you don't even remember why. There's a subtle ache there, a kind of soul hunger. Not for more pleasure, not for more success, but for something real, something true, something yours. Most men today are not broken. They are uninitiated. They have jobs. They have routines. Some even have families. But deep inside, they are still boys in men's bodies. Waiting for something. Waiting to be shown the path. Waiting to be told they are enough, or strong, or worthy. Waiting for a father figure that never came. This is not their fault, but it is their responsibility, because every man will eventually arrive at a silent crossroads. One path leads inward, to the pain, to the truth, to the buried self. The other leads outward, to distraction, addiction, comfort, numbness. Carl Jung called the first path individuation. The second, we simply call escape. The modern world is a master of escape. You don't need to leave your house to avoid yourself anymore. You can numb your soul with a thumb. You can bypass pain with food, porn, fantasy, validation. You can fill every empty space with noise. But silence is dangerous. Silence reminds you there's something missing. And if you sit with it long enough, it starts to whisper. It tells you the truth you've been avoiding. That you are not whole. That you're not really living. That there's a deeper version of you, buried under layers of performance. And that version is waiting. Every myth from every culture tells the same story. The boy must die symbolically so the man can be born. There is no growth without loss, no wisdom without descent, no strength without suffering. But we've forgotten the descent. We've replaced it with dopamine. We've traded initiation for indulgence. We've lost the soul of masculinity. Not because men are weak, but because we've never been taught how to be strong in the right way. True strength is not domination, it is integration. Most addictions are not about the substance, they're about the story. The story a man tells himself about who he is. The story that says, I'm not enough. I'm not safe. I'm not worthy without her, without success, without escape. The pain doesn't come from the bottle. It comes from the belief behind the bottle. And so we run, not because we're cowards, but because we've been wounded by fathers who left, by mothers who overprotected, by cultures that sold us hollow masculinity, by religions that told us to be good, but not whole. Addiction is not weakness. It's misguided alchemy. It's the soul's attempt to feel something, anything, when it's been numb for too long. But here's the great tragedy. The more a man avoids his pain, the more his pain becomes his fate. What is not faced is repeated. What is not integrated becomes shadow. And that shadow, it leaks. It leaks into his relationships, his work, his thoughts. It sabotages love. It ruins potential. It whispers in his ear late at night, you'll never be enough. Jung warned us, the shadow doesn't go away just because we ignore it. In fact, the more we repress it, the stronger it becomes. So what do? We turn inward, not with shame, but with courage. Individuation is the sacred rebellion against everything false in you. It is the slow, painful, necessary excavation of the soul. It asks you to let go of your masks, your addictions, your false strength, your old wounds, your need to be seen, your need to be liked, your need to be safe. It asks, are you willing to lose everything that isn't you, to become who you truly are? Most men are not. And so they stay in the loop of craving, escape, guilt, repeat. The loop of false starts. The loop of relationships that feel like performances. The loop of chasing women, not because they love them, but because they don't love themselves. And here lies one of the deepest truths Jung ever revealed. Many men do not seek women. They seek their anima, the inner feminine, the piece of their soul that feels missing. And so they project it onto women and fall in love with the fantasy. But fantasies fade. The real woman disappoints. And the man, confused, starts the cycle again. The answer is not celibacy. The answer is integration. The woman is not your salvation. She is your mirror. She reveals what you have not yet owned within. Until a man sees his own soul, he will only see projection. Until a man reclaims his inner feminine, he will always chase it in others. Individuation brings wholeness. It does not kill desire, it purifies it. The addict seeks escape. The individuated man seeks meaning. He does not fear silence. He does not fear solitude. He does not need validation. Because he walks with his own soul. He has faced the dragon, not slayed it, but integrated it. He knows his shadow, and because he knows it, he no longer acts from it. He can be fierce without being cruel. He can be tender without being weak. He can stand in the storm without collapsing. Because his center is no longer external. It is rooted in the self. And the self, the true self, is not a product of culture, not a sum of traumas, not an ego inflated with titles. It is something ancient, something eternal, something you were born with and slowly forgot. Individuation is remembering. It is a return to essence, to truth, to soul. Addiction is not evil. It is a signpost. It says, there is something sacred you have not faced. Use it. Follow it. Let your craving become your compass. Let your pain become your portal. You were never meant to stay numb. You were meant to feel, to bleed, to awaken, and yes, to die, in a way. To die to who you were. So that who you are can finally take his first breath. So the next time you find yourself reaching for the drink, the screen, the woman, the rush, pause. Ask yourself, is this my path or my prison? You may not be able to change everything overnight, but you can begin. You can choose the fire over the fog, the real over the safe, the path of the soul over the seduction of silence. Because in the end, there are only two directions a man can go, toward his addiction or toward his self, and one leads to numbness, the other to meaning. Choose wisely. Your soul is listening.